The other day, I was just chatting with a friend. We got talking about salaries, and you probably know how companies are when it comes to giving raises. It feels like they'd rather do anything but increase your pay. So, in the middle of all that complaining, my friend said something that really stuck with me. He said, "But how would you even start a business these days? There's so much competition. Most businesses don't even survive anymore." And honestly, he's not alone. So many people believe this myth that competition is so intense today that starting a business is like stepping into a war zone. If you open a shop, there's bound to be another shop right next door selling the same thing. So, how do you fight that? Well, that's exactly what today's book is about, breaking that myth. The book we're dialing into today shows us that business doesn't have to be a brutal fight to the bottom. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy, and it teaches you how to escape that fight altogether. I hope you enjoy this journey. Hello and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about a mistake that most businesses make. A story that might just change the way you think and shift how you see the world of business altogether. Have you ever noticed that whenever we talk about business or competition, it almost always feels like we're stepping into a battlefield? Think about it. If someone opens a store right next to yours, they instantly feel like the enemy, even if that person is your own cousin. Your mind pictures a war zone where companies are out to cut each other's throats. And if you run a business, I bet you've felt this too, right? Companies fighting over the same limited market share, profits shrinking more and more every year. This is what we call a red ocean. Imagine you open a small convenience store in your neighborhood, but then someone opens another store right across the street, selling the exact same stuff. Everyone's following the same rules, offering the same products, and soon it turns into a brutal price war. Margins get smaller and smaller. How long can your business survive in this war zone? Either you'll be forced to shut your doors, or you'll waste all your energy trying to run the other guy out of business. And guess what? Nobody really wins. Both lose in the long run. Is this really the future of business? Are we supposed to spend our whole lives fighting competitors like this? No, there is a better way. There's a book called Blue Ocean Strategy that shows us a different path, a strategy that makes competition completely irrelevant. Wait, what? You're telling me I can grow my business without competing with everyone else? Yes, you heard that right. You can grow a business without getting dragged into a bloody fight with the guy next door. Picture this. Instead of fighting in a crowded pond, you find yourself a blue ocean. Just like the real ocean, if you scoop out a bucket of water, does the ocean even notice? No. In the same way, you create or find markets so wide open that competition barely matters. So, what does that really mean? This is a market space that doesn't even exist yet, where there's no competition, no fixed rules, and unlimited potential to create brand new demand. A blue ocean, just like the name suggests, is calm, deep, and unexplored, and you don't have to fight anyone to thrive there. Let's break it down in business terms. At the heart of this philosophy is something called value innovation. Now, you might be wondering, what on earth is that? Most of us believe we have to choose, either make a high-quality product and charge a high price, or sell an average product at a low cost. It's always been seen as a trade-off, right? But value innovation flips that old thinking on its head. It says you can deliver high value and low cost at the same time. Seriously? Take Cirque du Soleil as an example. This wasn't your typical circus. Traditional circuses focused on animal acts and celebrity performers, which cost a fortune, all while audiences were shrinking. Cirque du Soleil did the opposite. They cut out the animals, eliminated the need for expensive star performers, and didn't bother with multiple big tents. Instead, they borrowed elements from theater, storylines, artistic music, dance, and a sophisticated atmosphere.
They created a whole new experience that attracted adults and corporate clients who were willing to pay way more than they ever would for a traditional circus. They increased value and reduced costs at the same time. Now that is value innovation. And I know what some of you might be thinking right now. Hey, I don't exactly run a circus. Hey, relax. That was just an example. Let me give you another one, a real, relatable example closer to home. Think about organic milk in the US. Back in the day, most people either bought regular milk from the grocery store or directly from a local dairy farm. Why? Trust. People felt, if I can see where it's coming from, I know it's fresh. But at the same time, there were concerns about hygiene, hormones, and whether the quality was consistent every time. The packaged organic milk industry was pretty fragmented, and people didn't really trust that a carton was truly better than their local source.
Then, companies like Horizon Organics stepped in and created an entirely new space. They promised the same farm-fresh taste people trusted, but with certified organic practices, strict quality checks, and clean, convenient packaging. Horizon told their story right on the box. Certified organic, no added hormones, no antibiotics, always fresh, farm to fridge. Customers felt reassured. They were getting the taste and nutrition they wanted without the daily worry of sourcing or safety. Their confidence grew, and more people switched from local dairies or conventional brands to trusted packaged organic milk. That's real value innovation. More value for the customer, managed costs for the company, thanks to economies of scale and strong brand trust. So here's the real question. How can you create this kind of magic in your business? The answer is a simple, powerful tool called the 4 Actions Framework. It has 4 questions that force you to challenge every factor in your industry. Eliminate. What factors has the industry always taken for granted that no longer add value or worse, actually reduce it? Like Cirque du Soleil eliminating animal acts. Reduce. What factors could be reduced well below industry standards? Sometimes companies over-design products just to beat the competition, adding cost without adding real benefit. Raise. What factors should be raised far above the industry standard? Find those compromises customers have quietly accepted for years. Create. What new factors could you offer that your industry has never provided? These become new sources of value and unlock brand new demand. This framework also comes with a super handy visual tool called the Strategy Canvas. It helps you see, at a glance, where you stand right now, where your competitors stand, and where your future blue ocean strategy could take you. A great example? Yellowtail, an Australian wine company, nailed this. They used the Strategy Canvas to shake up the entire US wine industry. While traditional wineries kept focusing on technical jargon, aging quality, and prestigious vineyards, Yellowtail did the opposite. They eliminated all the confusing stuff and reduced the factors people didn't really care about. Then they created new factors, like easy drinking, easy to choose, and fun and adventure. Their packaging was bright and playful. They launched with just 2 wine varieties, Chardonnay and Shiraz, with a bold kangaroo logo right on the bottle. The result? They attracted non-wine drinkers too, and quickly became the #1 imported wine in the US, overtaking big-name French and Italian brands. This is the magic of focus, divergence, and a compelling tagline. The 3 essential traits of any successful blue ocean strategy. But wait, how do these blue oceans actually come to life? Is it only for geniuses with crazy ideas? Nope. The book lays out 6 practical paths you can use to reconstruct market boundaries. 1. Look across alternative industries. Don't just look at your direct competitors,
look at other industries that solve the same basic customer need, even if the product or service looks totally different. Example, NetJets spotted a gap between commercial airlines and private jets and created fractional jet ownership. 2. Look across strategic groups within industries. Inside your own industry, analyze different price or performance groups. Example, Curves Fitness created a brand new space between full-scale gyms and at-home workouts, targeting women who found regular gyms intimidating or didn't have much time. 3. Look across the chain of buyers. Most industries just focus on one type of buyer, like the purchaser or the end user. Novo Nordisk shifted its focus from just doctors to actual insulin users, designing easy-to-use insulin pens. Bloomberg ignored IT managers and targeted traders directly. 4. Look across complementary product and service offerings. Think about what else your customer needs before, during, or after using your product. Example, Philips added a water filter inside their electric kettles, solving the hard water limescale problem. NABI buses focused on lower maintenance costs for cities, instead of just selling cheap buses up front. 5. Look across functional or emotional appeal. Is your industry competing only on function or only on emotion? Flip it. QB House turns Japan's highly emotional, personalized barbershop into a no-frills 10-minute functional haircut. Cemex turns cement, a boring functional product, into an emotional experience with their Room of Dreams campaign. 6. Look across time. Spot clear, irreversible trends that will shape the future. Apple did exactly that with iTunes, tapping into the booming trend of digital music downloads just as illegal sharing was taking off.
Blue ocean strategy isn't just about coming up with big ideas. It's about turning those ideas into real commercial success. And for that, there's a clear, proven sequence you need to follow. Think of it like a checklist that helps minimize business model risks, step by step. 1. Buyer utility. First, ask yourself, does your product or service offer exceptional utility? Is there a strong, compelling reason for a large group of buyers to want it right now? If the answer is no, rethink the idea. For example, Philips CDI failed because it didn't deliver real value that people couldn't live without. 2. Price. Next, is your price point accessible for the mass market you want to reach? Many companies launch at a high price and then slowly lower it. But in a blue ocean, you need volume from day one. Take Swatch, for example. They priced their watches around $40 so people could buy multiple watches as fun fashion accessories. 3. Cost. Now, check. Can you actually produce and deliver your product profitably at that strategic price? Here, price minus costing is key. You start with your price, subtract your target profit margin, and what's left is your target cost. Think about how Ford transformed the car industry with the Model T. By introducing the assembly line, they dramatically cut costs and made cars affordable for the masses. Smart partnerships and creative pricing models can help too. 4. Adoption. Finally, have you identified and tackled the roadblocks that could slow down adoption? Any new idea disrupts the status quo, so you can expect pushback from employees, partners, and even the general public. The key is to handle that resistance before you launch.
So, how do you actually execute all this on the ground? This is where the concept of tipping point leadership comes in. Unlike the traditional belief that big change needs big resources and years of effort, tipping point leadership flips that idea. It says, focus on the few key factors that create the biggest impact and trigger a tipping point. By targeting your energy and resources where they matter most, you can achieve big results faster and with less. That's how you go from idea to real blue ocean success. The cognitive hurdle, getting people to see it. Instead of just throwing numbers at people, make them face the harsh reality firsthand. For example, When Bill Bratton took over as chief of the New York City Police Department, NYPD, he made officers actually ride the subway lines where crime was out of control. Once they saw that electric sewer with their own eyes, they understood exactly why things had to change. No spreadsheet could have done that. The resource hurdle: doing more with less. Instead of asking for more budget or endless resources, multiply the impact of what you already have. Focus your efforts on hotspots, places or activities where small investments drive huge results. At the same time, pull resources away from cold spots that eat up money but deliver little value. And do some smart horse trading too. Swap your excess resources for other units' spare capacity. The motivational hurdle: getting people to act. You don't need to motivate everyone at once. Focus on the kingpins, the key influencers who shape the rest of the organization. Put them in what's called a fishbowl, a situation where their actions are visible to everyone, and show them how even big, intimidating change can be broken down into small, achievable steps. The political hurdle: handling resistance. Use your angels, the people who support the change, to build momentum. And when it comes to the devils, the people fighting you at every step, silence them strategically. Always have a consigliere on your leadership team, a trusted insider who understands the political undercurrents and knows how to navigate them.
Throughout this whole process, fair process is critical. When people feel engaged, they're involved in decisions. They get a clear explanation. They understand why things are changing. And they know exactly what's expected of them. They don't just comply, they commit. They feel that both their intellect and emotions are being respected. And remember, Blue Ocean strategy isn't a one-and-done achievement. Once you carve out a new blue ocean, sooner or later, imitators will show up. But the good news is, true blue ocean moves naturally create barriers that make imitation hard. Things like strong brand positioning, cost advantages from high volume, or network effects. These barriers can keep your market space uncontested for 10 to 15 years, but you still have to watch your value curve. If you see your value curve starting to look like everyone else's, that's your signal it's time to create your next blue ocean. So friends, Blue Ocean strategy isn't just a business book, it's a mindset shift. It teaches us that business doesn't have to be a bloody battlefield. It can be a vast ocean of innovation, creativity, and new possibilities, where you don't fight over scraps of old demand, you unlock new demand that no one saw coming. It frees you from the constant battle of that red ocean full of sharks. So think about it. Maybe your company could be the next blue ocean explorer.